I think just the qualities that are essential for somebody in a leadership role. I think it's important to grow into a particular role with the right characteristics and the right qualities.
A royal family is in trouble, and Prince William is on the edge of tears as a shocking announcement shakes the monarchy to its core. What exactly did Princess Anne reveal that left William shaken and the future of the crown hanging in the balance? Stick around, because this revelation is bound to change everything you thought you knew about the royal family.
I don't think she believes too heavily in instruction. She believes in finding your own path, but with very good examples and guidance around you to support you.
It was supposed to be another quiet day at Balmoral, but what was about to happen in that royal meeting room would be anything but ordinary. Balmoral Castle is usually a place of calm, a retreat tucked into the hills, far from the public eye. It's where the late Queen Elizabeth used to spend her summers and where many key family moments happened behind closed doors. But on this particular day, the castle's stone walls were holding in something far more intense than rest and relaxation. The family had been called together. That alone was unusual. When everyone gathers under one roof, especially at Balmoral, it usually means something important is coming. The room was full. King Charles, Camilla, William, Kate, Anne, and other senior royals. The energy was stiff, formal, like everyone was bracing for something, but no one knew what. Princess Anne stood up. She rarely speaks out of turn, and when she does, people listen. She cleared her throat and dropped a revelation that immediately shifted the air in the room. She revealed something the late Queen Elizabeth had allegedly shared with her, a final wish, quiet but serious, that Catherine, Princess of Wales, should one day rule as queen in her own right, not just as a supportive figure beside William, but as a central leader, a queen who holds her own power and authority within the monarchy. That hit like a bolt of lightning. The room went still, not a word. No one quite knew how to react. King Charles's face changed instantly after decades waiting to finally step into his role, hearing that his own mother may have envisioned a future that skips ahead or at least shifts the spotlight must have landed hard. For Charles, this wasn't just a sentimental comment from a beloved mother. It was a challenge to everything he's tried to establish since her passing. This wasn't just about tradition. It was about legacy. It was about power. It was about what comes next and who the public sees as the face of the monarchy.
We've been very lucky. My mother was the queen for a very long time. And although you kind of know that this might happen, you don't really think about it very much. Not least of all because the monarchy is about continuity. But I think for my brother, this is something he's been waiting for. And he's probably spent more time thinking about it.
Anne didn't speak with emotion, but her words carried weight. She reminded everyone in the room of Catherine's growing popularity, her grace under pressure, and the quiet strength she's shown through years of scrutiny. According to Anne, the Queen had admired Catherine's steadiness, her ability to stay grounded while carrying the expectations of a modern royal. And as she spoke, all eyes drifted toward William. William, who has always appeared controlled and confident, was visibly shaken. He looked down at the floor, took a deep breath, and didn't speak for a long moment, because this changed everything. If his wife were being positioned not just as a queen beside him, but as a monarch in her own right, what did that mean for his own role, his future? It wasn't about jealousy, it was about responsibility. He knows how the public sees them. Often, they're more focused on Catherine than on him. He's seen the headlines, heard the commentary, and he knows how loved she is around the world. But hearing it said aloud with Queen Elizabeth's name attached to it made it real, and in that quiet room in Balmoral, the balance of the monarchy shifted. Not with yelling, not with a fight, but with a single truth that had been buried until that moment. But it wasn't just Queen Elizabeth's wishes that had the royal family on edge. Prince William's reaction spoke volumes about what this could mean for the future.
I take duty very seriously. I take my responsibilities very seriously. But it's about finding your own way at the right time. And if you're not careful, duty can sort of weigh you down an awful lot at a very early age. And I think you've got to develop into the duty role.
Prince William had always been the image of composure. He was raised to stay calm in public, to carry the weight of the crown without cracking. But after Princess Anne's revelation at Balmoral, that calm exterior started to show signs of strain. The moment hit him deeper than anyone expected. The idea that his late grandmother had a different vision for the crown wasn't just surprising, it challenged everything he thought was certain about his future. Behind the polite nods and measured expressions, William was battling a storm. His role had always been clear: heir to the throne, future king, the one expected to carry the crown into a new era. But now this revelation blurred that path. If Queen Elizabeth's final wish truly favored Catherine as more than just a supportive figure, what did that mean for him? Was his leadership being questioned? Or was this simply a reflection of the public's trust in Catherine? He didn't say much at the moment, but those close to him could see the weight of it. His shoulders slumped just slightly, his eyes locked on Catherine across the room, not with blame, but uncertainty. The man who had stood so steady through scandals, public drama, and even personal loss was now clearly shaken, and the reactions around the room didn't make things easier. Catherine kept a neutral expression, but even she couldn't ignore the shift in the room. The energy around her changed. People looked at her differently, not just as William's wife, but as someone who could be a standalone ruler. It was a subtle shift, but in the royal family, even the smallest change in perception carries a lot of weight. Camilla, meanwhile, seemed visibly uncomfortable. As queen consort, she had fought long and hard to be accepted by the public, and even harder to be accepted within the family. Now, this sudden attention on Catherine as a future queen in her own right must have felt like a quiet dismissal. A reminder that while Camilla holds the title now, the public, and maybe even the queen herself, was already looking ahead. And then there were the younger royals. Prince Harry, though now largely removed from official royal duties, would not ignore the implications. Any major change in the structure of succession or titles could directly impact his children's position within the royal framework. The tension between the brothers was already raw. Now with this new twist, that tension threatened to deepen even further. The room may have returned to calm, but underneath, everyone knew things had changed, and all eyes turned to the one person who could respond with authority: King Charles. But Charles was facing a battle of his own. His ongoing struggle with cancer had already made his presence more limited in recent months. Behind the scenes, he was attending treatments, resting more, and stepping back from many duties. For a man who had waited nearly his whole life to become king, he now found himself having to fight just to hold on to that role, physically and emotionally. Charles had always believed in maintaining continuity and tradition. He saw his reign as a bridge between his mother's legacy and his son's future. But hearing that Queen Elizabeth may have expressed a preference for Catherine's leadership, that wasn't easy to accept. It raised questions not just about succession, but about the kind of monarchy the public wants moving forward. And as the family gathered to discuss the future, it became clear no one was in control of the moment. Everything felt uncertain, and the future seemed to be rushing toward William faster than anyone had expected.
My family was the sovereign, and we, as a family, don't own this place. It doesn't belong, and it's not as if we're making money out of it. And this is what annoys me so much that's written in the media.
With King Charles slowly stepping back due to his health, Prince William is no longer preparing for the future, he's already living it. His responsibilities have increased across the board, from leading royal ceremonies to handling international visits and managing the day-to-day presence of the monarchy. William's role is expanding rapidly. He's not just filling in for his father, he's actively shaping how the monarchy presents itself in this new era. There's a noticeable shift in how he's carrying himself, more direct, more visible, more willing to lead, and yet the pressure that comes with that change is immense. Behind closed doors, William is navigating a family under strain. Between Charles's illness, the tension between Catherine and Camilla, and the lingering divide with Harry, William is caught in the middle of competing expectations. He's trying to maintain unity in a family that's been through one storm after another, all while preparing to wear the crown sooner than he might have expected. And on top of all that, he's still a husband and father. He's trying to protect his family's peace and privacy while also standing under the spotlight of royal duty. Balancing the public and the personal has never been more difficult. He knows the world is watching. Every move he makes now is seen as a glimpse into the future of the monarchy. The public wants to see strength, but also compassion, stability, but also evolution. William is trying to deliver all of that, but at what personal cost? Still, as the weight on William grows, one figure in the palace is facing her own uncertain road ahead: Queen Camilla. Camilla's path into the royal family was never smooth. She faced years of public criticism, judgment, and comparisons, but over time, she earned a place of trust beside Charles. Her role as queen consort was meant to be a symbol of that journey, of acceptance, of quiet strength, of loyalty. But now that role feels more fragile than ever. Queen Elizabeth's final wish casts a shadow over Camilla's position. For someone who fought so long for recognition, it's a painful twist. Her place beside the king is still official, but emotionally and symbolically, things have shifted. There's also tension with Catherine. While both women have kept things civil in public, insiders say their relationship has had its challenges. Now, with Catherine being seen as a potential queen in her own right, that dynamic could grow more strained. For Camilla, the fear isn't just about titles, it's about legacy. Will she be remembered as a supportive consort who helped Charles during a difficult reign? Or will she be seen as a transitional figure, quietly sidelined as the crown moves toward the younger generation? As the monarchy repositions itself for the future, these personal stakes are becoming harder to ignore. The palace may appear polished on the outside, but inside there are real concerns about what comes next. And as the drama continues to unfold, one thing is becoming more obvious. The royal family is changing. The old structure is being challenged, not just by health and age, but by legacy, loyalty, and the public's shifting expectations. So what do you guys think of Queen Elizabeth's final wish? Is it fair to Catherine or a threat to the royal structure? And do you think Prince William is ready to lead through this storm? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next big update from inside the palace.